This soft and fluffy sourdough naan is an easy to make recipe that delivers all the classic flavors of naan without using yogurt. I'm going to show you how I use a sourdough starter and a little bit of active dry yeast to get a wonderfully soft and fluffy naan without the long wait. This is ready in 3 hours from start to finish. You can find the full recipe at thebetterbakerclub.com by clicking the link in the description, but I'm going to show you exactly how I do this so that you can recreate this naan recipe at home. I know it's going to become one of your favorites. So to the olive oil and yeast mixture in my mixing bowl, I'm adding 1 cup of sourdough starter. This can be an active sourdough starter or sourdough discard. Both deliver that tangy flavor that we lose by taking out the yogurt from this naan. And for people that want a non-dairy naan or just don't have access to yogurt, this is a great alternative. So I'm just going to mix that up till the sourdough and yeast mixture is well combined. And then I'm going to be adding my flour, baking powder, and salt mixture to the mixer, and I'm gonna combine it for about 5 minutes on low to medium until this thick dough comes together. So don't be tempted to add more water to this dough. It needs to be thick in order to get the right texture when the naan is cooking. So I'm gonna take this dough out. I'm kneading it until it's as smooth as I can get it, and then letting it rest in an oiled bowl that's been covered with a tea towel, a kitchen towel, or plastic wrap just to keep it from drying out. Now, because we added yeast to the dough, it's going to rise a little faster than a traditional sourdough bread would, and in about an hour, you'll have this fluffy, soft dough. I'm going to divide mine into 8 pieces. Those are going to be 8 generous sized servings of naan, and I'm just going to pre-shape them by taking these divided pieces and gently rounding them into sort of a ball shape. You want to make sure not to overwork the dough here so that it can still be shaped into the round naan shape without having the gluten be too tough. So I'm going to let it rest for about 10 minutes. After I pre-shape, I'm going to cover it in plastic wrap to prevent the dough from getting dried out, and then just cover it with a towel. And then with a little bit of flour on your work surface, you can use a rolling pin or stretch it by hand, and you're going to roll these out into about a 6-inch diameter circle. Now, once you have all of your dough rolled out, go ahead and start preheating a cast iron skillet on medium heat. So you can go ahead and put a little bit of oil on your pan just to keep it from browning that flour too much, but you want to keep it fairly dry. It's not a real frying situation. We're just toasting it in a lightly greased preheated pan, and you can see these air pockets starting to form where you're getting these pillowy, charred bits, which are so classic to delicious naan. And I'm just giving it a little wipe with a paper towel that's been dipped in some vegetable shortening to keep the pan from getting dry from all the flour that's on the dough. I'm just going to continue doing this until all of the naan is cooked, and then I am going to be brushing it with just a little garlic butter, and I like mine topped with a little bit of diced minced cilantro. Either way, these are so pillowy, soft, and delicious. You can eat them with curry, rice, and all sorts of different dishes, but they are also wonderful as wraps and pizza bread. They're so versatile. Here is just another look at how I'm cooking these up. I've got the rolled naan off to the side, and they're lightly floured, so they're stacked on top of each other and they're not sticking. And then I'm just continuing to cook them one after another, and then I like to keep them warm by wrapping them in a towel as I go. One of the things I love about this recipe is just how pillowy soft it is. I think it takes about 2 minutes on each side. If you go more than that, it loses a little bit of its softness and it gets a bit too toasty. So cook them just until you get the brown spots and Just look at how beautiful and delicious this naan bread is. We really enjoyed this. I know you're going to love it too. Don't forget to check out thebetterbakerclub.com. You can get all of the measurements for this recipe and the step-by-step instructions, and I'll go ahead and link that in the description notes for this video. Thanks for watching.